Everyone, welcome to the Sports Finals, and this year was big in Major League Baseball. Big signings, big trading, a lot of talking about who's going where, a lot of prospects being traded, guys going all over the place. This should be the most eventful season that I've been a part of since I've been born and a fan of baseball. Best season yet. Big one, Roy Halladay coming from the Blue Jays to the Phillies, and the Phillies trading Cliff Lee to the Mariners. Big surprise there. Phillies fans thought they'd have both. Then when they heard he traded Cliff Lee, was big talks, this, that, a lot of problems happening. So we don't know what the underlying issue was, why we had to trade Cliff Lee, not keep him for another year. We don't know what the problem is. So we're just as baffled as everybody else is. Jason Bay signing with the Mets, the big one, because the Mets didn't have an offensive threat in the lineup. They only had, guys who could hit 20, 25 home runs, but no one who you can guaranteedly say, hey, this guy is potentially 30 home run plus guy. But the problem is with Jason Bay is his strikeouts are a little high. It doesn't get that good of an average. So he does strike out a lot. You got to take the good with the bad, kind of like Ryan Howard. He strikes out a lot, but yet you get good 35 home runs off of him a season. So you take the good and the bad and you work with it. Curtis Granderson, trade coming from Detroit to the Yankees, plus the Diamondbacks into the mix, so it was a three-team trade. The Yankees weren't going to sign Johnny Damon again because they didn't feel it was right for the organization. They wanted more of a power guy, and that's what Curtis Granderson gives them, is more of a power guy. He has the potential of hitting 30 home runs, getting 100 RBIs. He's a good leadoff guy, just like Johnny Damon was. So we'll have to see how they put him in the lineup, how things go. But it looks promising for the Yankees right there. Ben Sheets signing with the Athletics, another big one, because Athletics didn't really have a good starting pitcher who they could rely on and say, hey, we can use this guy. If we're in a 5-game losing streak, we can have this guy come in and stop the losing streak. So go on. Chone Figgins coming from the Los Angeles Anaheim Angels, however you pronounce it, to the Mariners in the same division. Mariners needed a good third baseman, a guy who can hit, get some home runs for them, good RBIs, get the guys that are on base moving, because the Mariners really didn't have a good third in the lineup guy, because they were missing that piece, and now they got that piece where they can have him be third or fourth in the lineup and be a big boost in power, maybe, because they got a big field in in Seattle. So go on. Vasquez going from the Atlanta Braves to the Yankees, fills in the 4th spot. The Yankees needed that 4th spot pitcher because they didn't have one, and they got him. He used to be with the Yankees, didn't do that well. When he went to Atlanta, he did better. So you're looking at a 15-game winner right there. Not much more. Now the question is, who's going to be the 5th starter? Is it going to be Phil Hughes or Johnny Damon? So that's a question that everyone's going to be wondering about. Adrian Beltran going to the Red Sox. Question marks there. Why did they pick him up instead of trying to jump at Chone Figgins? You don't know about that. Chone Figgins was gobbled up like the first day free agency happened. So I guess Red Sox didn't want to pay all the money to get him. So he's not a good offensive guy, but he's better defensively. So the Red Sox hoping that the offense is going to be able to step up in the lack of Beltran's offense. So Randy Wolf going to the Brewers from free agency. He's happy to be there. No surprise there. He was in the same division. Played with the Dodgers. Couldn't do well in the postseason. Postseason. He didn't have that good of a year in the postseason, so we'll have to see how he does there. He's not that great of a guy. He'll only win you like 14 games, 15 games at most, but he'll lose 10 because he's not that consistent like Cliff Lee or Roy Halladay, or other guys of that caliber. So he's nowhere near being that good, but he's nowhere bad. He's maybe a 3rd or 4th starter who could win you 15 games, but that's pretty much it. You're not going to expect anything else. Now, some trades and some signings that happen that you got to watch out for that could be a team changer and could possibly help the team and boost them, that a lot of people didn't talk about in the offseason was a couple were like Placido Polanco going to the Phillies, because the Phillies didn't sign their own third baseman, so they signed him. He doesn't strike out a lot. He gets a lot of contact. He can steal some bases. He's an all-around player. I don't know how he does in third base because I haven't seen him since he left the Phillies 4 or 5 years ago, so I'm not really sure about that. Marlon Byrd signing with the Cubs. He played with the Texas Rangers for 3 years. He picked up on his average and slugging percentage. He's getting better, so the Cubs are hoping that putting him in center field will give them a nice little boost. I mean, he's not going to hit 300. He might hit 275. I'm thinking he might hit 265, maybe 10 home runs, 45, 50 RBIs, but I'm projecting for him. He's not going to go nuts. Jim Thome going to the Twins. Jim Thome's getting old now. He doesn't play the defense anymore. He's done with that. He's mostly now just a offensive threat, DH. That's all he's going to do. I don't expect him to do anything else. That's pretty much it. Nothing else, you really got to watch out for. And Ryan Garko signed with the Mariners. He is a .313 hitter against a left-hander, so he's going to give them a nice left-handed hitting boost because the Mariners didn't really have a left-handed hitter that a guy could hit off a left-hander is that good. So getting this guy is going to be a nice little pickup for them to bat off a left-hander. So, they're going to have some volatility in the lineup that's going to be good for them. So this should make a good time in the regular season because teams sign this guy, sign that guy, guys that they needed. Some question marks are still going to need to be answered with some teams like the Yankees, who's going to be the fifth starter, Jabba or Phil Hughes. Phillies, how's their closer going to be? Brad Lidge, is he going to blow 10 games again? There's a lot of questions need to be asked, but this should be an exciting season because every team got somebody that they needed. Now it's going to be who is going to be able to stay healthy all season and perform up to the level that they are known to be performing up to. So we'll have to see. This has been the Sports Final, signing off.